Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our post-game press conference. App State defeated NC Central 79-74 in overtime. Here is head coach Dustin Kerns with his opening statement.
Well, hats off to Coach Moten and his staff and his team. He's got a really, really good team. It was no accident that they were beating Virginia late in the second half at Virginia the other night. That's a really great win for our team. I'm really proud of our team. I thought we made some tough plays down the stretch on both ends, and certainly some learning moments.
Dustin, talk a little bit about Donovan Gregory there in the second half. He kind of started the momentum heading in the right direction. 12 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, a couple of steals in the second half alone. Obviously, he's in foul trouble in the first. He misses 12 minutes. Things just don't look the same, and he kind of pulled the pin out of that grenade, it felt like.
Yeah, he kind of just settled down a little bit, getting in foul trouble, got, the emotions flared up, and then they started kind of denying him there late, and so we just started using him as ball screener and being able to get downhill because they were just not helping at all, and so he helped us in more ways than just scoring and rebounding and assist. Like I said, he became a really good screener there for us late and allowed some other guys to get downhill, kick it to CJ for three. Like, if you really break some of those plays down, it was Donovan setting a ball screen up top, and they weren't helping, so we were able to get downhill.
What was the conversation with the team around three-point shots? Because it took probably took a little bit of guts to keep pulling that trigger in overtime. Yeah. You're 3 for 4 in overtime, but before that, that would have been 9 for 28. So they really weren't falling. But what was the conversation you guys were having about those opportunities?
We wanted to get a three after a paint touch, but I give North Carolina Central credit. They were not allowing us to really get to the paint, but we really wanted to. We felt like we got them in foul trouble there. We really wanted to attack, get to the paint, and get a three that way. But I've seen our guys make a lot of threes this whole preseason in the Bahamas and our scrimmages, and so I've got a great deal of confidence in our players, and I hope they feel that too. And so if they're open, I do want them to shoot it. I think that our guys have, trust the reps in there.
What's the coaching you guys are giving Justin Absent? I mean, it's a big jump for him as a true freshman to step into some of these situations, and it looks like he's very comfortable in a couple of areas because he's really good at rebounding. He's especially good at blocking shots. As you guys have coached him up about, hey, here's what we're looking for, here's your role. What are the things you've talked to him about to maybe make him feel a little more comfortable, even in a big game situation?
Yeah, I think he's just good. In the sense like we haven't talked to him about blocking shots, rebounding. Like it's just recruiting. Like he's just a good player, and he's been that way all preseason. Like he's earned that. That wasn't a fluke. Like he's got such a natural shot blocking, timing, length, but he's really got great quality reps in practice. Hasn't missed a practice this entire preseason, and so he's just. I don't want to take the credit for it. I think that I don't know if it's anything we're doing other than he's just a good player.
When you get to the end of regulation there, you do have some fouls to burn. What's the policy there? What's the strategy?
And that we were wanting to foul, and that's on me for not us executing it. If you go back and watch, I've told the officials we were going to foul, but I will take 100% blame on us not executing the foul. But we were trying to foul, and certainly in that situation it's difficult because we like to. And we practice fouling with a ball screen or a handoff going away from the basket, so there's not something with a shot for a three-point shot. That situation did not occur. However, we did. That's on me. That's on me to but we certainly wanted to execute a foul. We didn't do it, and that's my fault.
A lot of new faces to learn this year.
David, I'm still learning their names too.
You've got a lot of interchangeable parts, a lot of guys in your rotation. Was tonight pretty typical of the kind of rotation that you expect to see?
I think we're going to go 10 deep every night, and there's going to be nights where Christopher Mantis is going to play a lot more. There's nights where Tamel Pearson, DeBaji Walker, certainly those guys are capable of it. I think that the strength of our team right now is our depth, and so whoever's playing well, we can go with. I think it's going to be different people every night, and so it just happened that we finally found a group that was really, really playing well, and we stuck with it. But those other guys are going to be in there any given night. And so I think that's the strength of our team in the sense if you're maybe not producing individually, we do have a lot of other guys that we can go to. But certainly we've got some guys this is not, I don't think, a typical minute distribution, but I do think it's a typical rotation. We plan on going at least 10 every night.
Is Terrence okay to 23?
You know what? I don't know, other than I was told something about stitches. So it was a very brief conversation, and so that's all I really know. I think he's okay. I just think he might be getting some stitches.
Okay. How much do you think fatigue in North Carolina Central set in the second half? Because they kind of looked at certain points gassed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're tough. I mean, I really do. I think they've got some tough guys. I think they've got some moxie to them. I think they've got some tough dudes, and so I don't really know. Certainly they were at Virginia on Monday. Those are two. It's not like they were on a plane or something like that. However, I mean, I thought we just made some tough plays down the stretch too. But I thought those were two really good teams. I mean, that's. I think that's a really good team. I've watched that Virginia game 3 times. They're good.
Hey, Coach. James Parker with the Appalachians. So, obviously, you're down at halftime, and later on in the second half, the offense sort of clicked, and you went on a huge run, tie ball game, and we know what happened from there. Was there a major adjustment at halftime for your offense, or was it just you were telling them to keep doing what they were doing, and eventually the shots are going to fall?
We made an emphasis to get to the paint. Now, in the first half, they were playing a lot of zone. And Donovan obviously was in foul trouble. We were searching, finding some lineups and things like that. They didn't play any zone in the second half. But we really put an emphasis at halftime as, hey, listen, we should get a paint touch every single time. We shouldn't shoot a three. Let's get a paint touch, paint touch, paint touch. We were able to get a couple dump downs to our bigs. We were able to get a couple kick out threes. But that was really the only adjustment we made there offensively.
You mentioned your depth earlier. Talk a little bit about the advantage of being able to call on anyone on the roster and be able to lean on them to carry the scoring load.
Well, like I said earlier, I mean, it's going to be different people every night. I mean, we've got a lot of good players. We've got a lot of depth, and it's going to be different people. One night it's going to be Tyree Boynton. The next night it's going to be C.J. Huntley, Donovan Gregory. The next night it's going to be Carvel T-Set. It's going to be Chris Mantis. We've got a lot of options, and I think that's part of our strength right now.
Hey, Coach, what was the game plan on Justin Wright? Obviously, he hit the big shot to send it to overtime, but he had a big game against Virginia the other night and led the team in scoring last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that was first-team All-Conference last year, preseason first-team All-Conference this year. He's a really, really savvy, crafty player. He's a good player. We were just trying to really keep him out of the paint. We thought that he was really good at getting downhill, jump stopping. He made some of those shots tonight, but we just surely wanted him to take tough twos. And certainly he made a big shot there to send it to overtime. But he's a good player. It was a team defense thing on him. I mean, they've got a lot of guys you got to prepare for. And then you got Devin Butts, who comes off the bench, who made 3 of his first 4 threes. Now, he missed his last 4, but it looks like it's going in every time he shoots it. And so, and then with Medley Bacon, certainly we got him in foul trouble, but he ended up with 16 points, and we had to start trapping him some. It was and then, not to mention Eric Boone. He's a good player, another all-conference player. And so they've got a lot of options as well.
Any other questions for Coach Kerns? All right, thank you so much.
Go Mountaineers, take the steer.